Hi guys, it's Nadia. Welcome back to Matchy Flow. Today we have about 50-minute banded sculpt series. So I'm gonna use two different bands today, one lighter one, which will be good for some of the upper body work, a little bit of lower body, and then I also have a medium band. It's totally fine if you only have one, or maybe you only have cloth bands, you can totally make it work. So grab that and come meet me on your mat. To the top of your mat, we're gonna meet with knees wide, toes together, sit down and back, round your shoulders around. Let's drop them down and back. One more time, we'll roll back. We'll start to roll forward. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, good. Just give your neck a little shake here. We extend our arms in front of us, sit back down into a child's pose. Again, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep your knees nice and wide here. Think about somebody pressing on your tailbone to help pull you back. Just stretching through every single fingertip here. Together we'll take 2 more breaths here. One more. Awesome. You're gonna start to push into your hands. You're gonna come forward to a modified plank. Push all the way back. You hit a child's pose. Inhale, roll your spine forward. Exhale, push your tailbone back. We'll take a couple more here. We'll meet in a tabletop in another 2. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you push back. Last one, we'll meet at the top of the tabletop. Come to the top. Bring your knees about hips distance, hands in front of you, shoulders over, wrists together. We inhale, we look up at the ceiling. Exhale, you hit a cat. One more time. Cow. Exhale, we hit a cat. Just take some body circles here. Begin to connect with your body. Feel grounded. Push through the tops of your feet, your palms. Just taking anything that feels yummy here. My obliques are a little tight, so I need to give them a little extra love. Awesome. We're gonna bring our legs around, stretch out long in front of us. Sit with your hips directly under your waist. Your arms come up, you lean over and reach. Again, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Think about bending from your waist or your hips and not so much through your spine. Keep your spine nice and neutral here. We hold for another 3. Another 2. And 1. Awesome. And grab a little sip of water here. I'm gonna start with my medium band. Slide your band on over your legs, just about an inch or so above your knees. We're gonna swing our legs around, lay down on our back. Feet are about hips distance apart. Heels are planted into the ground. Your spine is pushing down into your mat. There's absolutely no space between your spine and the mat. From here, we lift our hips up, we hold. Maybe you bring your arms overhead. We hold for another 10. Start to press into the band. Think about tucking your hips under, squeezing from your glutes. We hold for another 4. For 3, we pulse up in 2 and 1. You start to pulse up, 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 up. You pulse up, 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 up. We pulse for another 10. You have 9. You have 8. We're warming the backside of our legs up, getting our glutes nice and activated all the way through our inner and outer thighs. We pulse for another 3, 2, 1. Hold the top, tuck your hips under, make sure there's a long diagonal from your shoulders to your knees. This time we press out on the band, we resist in. We push out, resist, press, resist, press, resist. Imagine that your spine is sandwiched in. You wanna hold your hands, one on the stomach, one on your back to help keep you stable. Your hips are tucked under. We pulse for another 10. We pulse for 8, You have 6. Lift your hips a little higher. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees where they should have started. You drop down for 4. You lower for 3. Hips lower for 2 and 1. You lift back up for 4. Hips lift for 3, for 2 and 1. Squeeze a little bit more on the glutes at the top. You bring your hips back down. Hands can come over your head if you would like. If this is too much for you, need a little bit more support, bring your palms to the floor. Energy through your fingertips, energy through your toes. Squeeze as you come down. Tailbone kisses your mat. You bring your hips back up. Nice and fluid here. We are into the workout, but we are still starting to warm up our body. So can you use this to get a little bit more grounded and connected? You have another 12 here. In 10, we will meet at the top of our bridge. You have another 8, 6, move slow for this, last 4, 3, we hold at the top in 2, and 1, hold at the top. We come up into our toes, heels nice and high. We pulse down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down and up, down and up. So everything we just did with our heels on the floor, we'll now do with our heels nice and high. So we pulse for another 10. Really squeeze your glutes. Let's get our lower seat nice and curved. We get a nice little juicy peach. We pulse for another 4. For 3, you stay nice and high. For 2 and 1, hips high, hips tucked under. We press out on the band, we resist. Out, resist. Out, resist. We pulse for another 12. Squeeze your glute. Think about this outer lower area. We pulse for another 8. You have 6. We hold high in 3, in 2, and in 1. Knees come back to neutral. You lift your hips high. Heels stay high the entire time. Your hips come down for 4, down for 3, down for 2. Kiss your mat for 1. You come back up for 4, up for 3, up for 2, and up for 1. This is kind of a balance challenge in itself. You will start to feel, I definitely do, your knees knock out a little bit. They're starting to shake, starting to wobble. Try to find strength in your stabilization. Can you try to keep your knees as absolutely still as possible as you lower your hips towards the mat and you lift your hips back up towards the ceiling? From here, we'll take another 15. We'll hold at the top. You have another 12. Squeeze your core to help stabilize you as if you were in a plank. I always say this, but it really is a good visualization. We hold at the top in 6, in 5. We meet in 3, in 2. Hold high in 1. We hold. We pulse, 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 pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. We do a 1 pulse up, a 2nd pulse up. You pulse out on the band and out of the band. So double pulse up and up, double pulse out and out. You pulse up and up. You pulse out and out. You can have your hands overhead. Again, if you need a little bit more stability support, you can always bring your palms down to the floor. Heels are still high. We have 10. You have 8. We have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last double pulse on the out. 1. Awesome. Come down, bring your knees to your chest, squeeze it out. We'll stay in our back. This time, you're gonna cross your left ankle over your right. Your thighs should touch now. The band stays around. From here, you pike your hips up. We meet in a bridge. So left foot twisted on top of right. We come down an inch, we go up an inch. Pulse down and up. Lower and lift just an inch. An inch is super teeny tiny. Make it as small as you can. We pulse for another 10. You have 9. Squeeze your core. You have 8, 7. My body's starting to shake. 6, 5. We hold at the top in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Full range down for 4. For 3, for 2, and 1. Back up for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Hips lower, 4, 3, 2. Kiss the mat, 1. Hips up for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're only here for another 12 seconds. We'll pulse at the top one more time. You have 8, 7, 6, 5. We hold the top, squeeze your legs together for 4, 3, 2. Hold nice and high. Push your inner thighs in towards each other. We pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold 1. Awesome. Bring your hips down very lightly. We're gonna switch our feet. So left foot is down, right ankle crosses over left. I'm gonna give my little glutes a little pat here. We press back up into our hip bridge. This is the last one. We'll come up to work our arms next. From here, we pulse, 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 pulse. Squeeze your inner thighs together, squeeze your glutes. Feet are pressing down into your mat. We pulse for another 10. You have 8. We pulse for 6. Bring your hips a little higher. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold high. Down for 4. Hips lower, 3. Lower, 2. Kiss your mat at 1. Pick back up for 4. Hips lift for 3. Hips lift for 2. And 1. Back down for 4. So try to keep it slow on this 4 count. It's a very small range of movement. We create tension and resistance in moving slow. It's a huge part of Pilates, and I think that that's what helps to really transform our bodies. We have 15 more seconds here. You have 1 pulse on the other side of the next 12. You get to come up, we'll work our arms. You meet me at the top in 6. We hold at the top in 4, in 3, in 2, hips nice and high, 1. Arms can come overhead. We pulse, 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 pulse. You have 10, 9, 8, 7. Squeeze your inner thighs together for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold up, and 1. Awesome. Gently lower back down to your mat. Knees can come to your chest. Slide your band off. If you have a lighter band available, let's bring that into our hands. I'm gonna put my hair up here and grab a sip of matcha. Cool, so I have the lighter band in my hands. We're gonna do some single arm banded work, but both arms will be engaged here. So your hands come through your band like this. You press with your right hand, grip over with the left. Elbow nice and wide, we row back for 2. Back for 1. Left arm extends for 2. Extends for 1. Pull back for 2. Back for 1. Extend for 2. Extend for 1. Continue to pull back. Elbow is at the same height as your shoulder. You don't lean back with the row. You stay completely still, core is engaged here. Squeeze through your center abdomen. Really press with your right palm into the band as well so you can create tension. You'll start to feel it on the back side of your right arm. I promise we'll come to work this guy in a little bit. You have another 6. You have another 4. You meet me with your arm rowed all the way back in 3. In 2, row your left arm all the way back. 1, hold. We pulse, row. Pulse, row, pulse, pulse. You pulse back, back. Your left elbow's nice and high. You have another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Arms overhead in 3, in 2, and 1. Arms come overhead. You still have the same grip. Left lat, pull down for 2, down for 1. You resist as you straighten your arm for 2, and for 1. Down for 2, down for 1. Up for 2. Up for 1. Kind of the same thing, it's just kind of like we came up at a 90-degree angle almost. Continue to push through your right palm. I am definitely starting to feel the backside of our right arm. Gonna start to work it here very soon. You pull your left arm all the way down in 8. In 6 seconds, we meet with our left arm at our lowest point. We pulse it out in 4. You hold low in 3. In 2 and 1. From here, you just pulse down, pulse down, pulse down. Push through your right palm, create resistance. You have another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You hold your arms just like this in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold. We bend our right elbow, extend. Bend right, extend. So we're bending and extending through our right arm now. Our left arm is rowed all the way back. Our lat pull down is happening. We're fully engaged. We're not moving our left hand, only pushing through our right elbow. You have another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Hands come in front of you in 3, in 2, and 1. Awesome. I'm gonna drop down my shoulders, roll them back a little bit. Hands come just like we started. This time, instead of, what am I trying to say? Pulling back at an angle, we go for like a more narrow row. So your band can be twisted here. We pull down for 2, down for 1, forward for 2, forward for 1. So left palm faces your midline. Think about your thumb pointing up towards the ceiling. Give me a little thumbs up if you're having a good time. We pull back. We'll go right into the right arm after this. So 1 pulse on the other side and another 10. Move nice and slowly. Create resistance to make it extra heavy for yourself. You row your left arm all the way back in 4, in 3, in 2, hold all the way back in 1. We just pulse, 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 pulse. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We'll shake it out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. All right, awesome. Drop your band real quick. Let's just shake out our arms. Sit back down onto your heels if you need to. We reach down and grab the band. We do this one more time on the right arm. Left palm pushes into the band. You grip down with your right hand. Wide row back for 2. Wide row back for 1. Extend your right arm for 2. Extend for 1. You row for 2. You row for 1. Extend for 2. Extend for 1. Energy through your left palm. Don't let your fingers get limp. I always tell my clients, there should be no soft fingers, no limp fingers. You press with conviction. Your palm is open, it's powerful. We pull all the way back in 10. Move slowly for the next 8. We row all the way back in 6. Meet me with your right arm rowed all the way back in 3, in 2, and 1. We pulse, pulse, pulse. Elbow and shoulder at the same height. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Arms overhead in 3, in 2, and 1. Awesome. Bring your arms overhead. Same grip here. Press your left palm into the band. Lat pull down on the right for 2. We pull down right for 1. You extend your right arm for 2. Extend for 1. You come down for 2. Down for 1. If you want to sit down on your heels, more than welcome to. Up for 2. Up for 1. So again, same movement like we just did in the wide row. It's just that this time our hands are overhead. Really trying to break the band here if you can. Again, power through your left palm. We have another 10. We pulse it out in 8. Drop your shoulder down. You have 6. We meet at the bottom in 5. In 4. We hold low in 3. In 2 and 1. We pulse. Pull. So left hand stays still. You're just pulling through the right hand, the right elbow. We pulse for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold your right arm as low as possible. You bend your left elbow an inch. You extend. Bend, extend. You press in and out. In, out. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Arms in front of you in 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Last upper body exercise for now. We'll go back to the legs in a second. So just like we started, left palm pressing against the band, right arm curls over, right hand goes towards the center line. So your thumb should be up here. You row back for 2, back for 1, extend for 2, extend for 1. I'll go to the side a little bit more so you can see better. Back for 2, back for 1, extend for 2, extend for 1. You should start to feel it a little bit in your right oblique as well. Turning that on, having that help to support us. We row for another 10. In 8 seconds, you pull your right arm all the way back. We pulse it out one last time. We get to stand up in 6. You have 4. Meet me with your right arm pulled all the way back in 3, in 2, 1. Hold. We pulse, 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 pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Keep your light band. Again, if you don't have anything else, it's totally fine to just use one band the entire time. This time we are gonna stand and slip the band just above the ankles. You're gonna meet me on the left side of your mat. You're gonna sit low. We'll take a side step for 1, for 2, for 3, just to the other edge of our mat. We go back to the first edge. Hands can be in prayer here. You can have your hands overhead if you'd like to lift your heart rate a little bit more. Awesome. Keep resistance on the band the entire time. There's a good foot or so of space between each foot. We'll go one more time across our mat. We step for 3, for 2, and 1. Back to the front for 4, for 3, for 2. Hold here in 1. I'm gonna come to the center so you can see me better. We sit down and low into a squat. We stand up. Sit back and low. We stand up. Your feet should be slightly further, just a teeny tiny bit, than hips width. Feet are parallel facing the front. We squat down. We stand up. We squat down. We stand up. We meet at the bottom in 6. You meet me at the bottom in 4. We hold at the bottom in 2. And in 1, hands to prayer. Weight towards the back of your hips. We pulse down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. Now I know we don't have the band above our knees, and that usually helps to create a lot of resistance. So pretend that you also have one there. We're gonna get into some more stuff below. I promise you have another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, hold low in 4, in 3, in 2, hold low. We take alternating heel raises. So left and right, left and right for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right heel stays high. Step another step out towards your right. All your weight transfers into your left side. You step in with your right foot, you step out. You step in, you step out. Your range of movement here is gonna feel super limited because you have the band around your ankles instead of the band around your thighs. So press into the band, keep your form nice and low. Your hips are hinged, your shoulders are dropped. I'll show you from the side here. My chest is open, my collarbone smiles. I'm pulling my shoulder blades down my back. We'll take another 10. You have 9. You have 8. 7. We have 6. Squeeze your core. 5. Right leg extended all the way out in 3. In 2. Right leg extend all the way out in 1. From here, shift a little bit more weight into your left. We pull our right leg up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. If you can try to keep your toe off the ground the entire time, that's a great challenge to take here. We pulse, 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 pulse for 10. You have 9. We have another 8. We'll do this again on the right leg in 6. You have another 4. You have 3, 2, and 1. Drop down onto the right foot, transfer your weight over to the right, extend your left. We step out, we step in. We step out, we step in. Out and in, out and in. Again, side view here. There's a diagonal from the top of my head all the way through my tailbone. I'm sitting nice and low. You have another 10. We have 9. You have 8, 7, 6. We have 5. You have another 4, 3, 2, 1. Left leg extended, transfer a little bit more weight into your right. We pulse up an inch, resist down an inch. Up and down, up and down. Again, you might not get that much height, that's totally fine. You wanna start to feel it on the outer part of your legs. Right now, we'll definitely feel it on the left since we're pushing against into the band, but bring your weight a little bit more over to the right. We have another 10. We'll come to the floor in 9. You have 8. So you can keep your left toe off the floor for the next 6. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, hold high, and 1. Awesome. You can get a sip of water here. So if you're using a light band, feel free to keep that on. We're gonna emulate a bungee here. So think about bringing the band around the center part of your feet. You're gonna tuck your right toes under. I'm gonna come down to my elbows for this one. You're in a tabletop, so you can either be on your palms or on your forearms. This just feels more comfortable to me. Right toes are tucked under. If you also wanna push the top of your right foot into the mat, totally fine. Your left foot is flexed. We push up for 2. Donkey for 1. You lower for 2. Lower for 1. Up for 2. Up for 1. Lower for 2. Lower for 1. Sometimes when I do this with the band, or if I'm on a reformer with a bungee, it does start to bother my hips, and I will just ditch the band because it's really just not, or bungee, because it's not serving me. If you feel a lot of tightness here, feel free to ditch it. However, it is a good challenge in itself. So if you can keep it on, keep it on. If it's really just not working for you, feel free to let go. Press a little bit more weight into your left forearm, or if you're up on your palm, your left palm. We have another 10. Your left foot is nice and flexed here. We meet at the top in 8. We'll pulse it out in 6. I have my right hand tented so that I'm pushing myself more into my left side so my hip is not opening. We hold the top in 3. In 2, hold high. In 1, stamp your foot on the ceiling. Pulse, 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 pulse. You have 10, 9, 8, 7. We take hamstring curls in 6, in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Your left leg extends behind you. You curl for 2, curl for 1, extend for 2, extend for 1. I'm starting to shake. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. We extend for 2, extend for 1, bend for 2, bend for 1, extend for 2, extend for 1. Whew. We'll take another 12 here. I know it's getting tough. Your glutes are gonna be nice and juicy. You meet me with your leg fully extended in 6. We fully extend our left leg in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1 from here. Point your toe. We pulse, 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 pulse. Press into the band for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, and 1. Bring your left knee down. I'm gonna pop up to my hands for this one. We're gonna take fire hydrants to finish out the left side here. So you open your hip for 2, open for 1, lower for 2, lower for 1. Left knee opens towards the ceiling for 2, for 1. You lower 2, lower 1. Whew. I don't know about you, it's starting to get real toasty in here. We meet at the top in 6. We meet at the top in 4. In 3, we hold in 2, and 1 hold. We pulse, 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 pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold high, and come down. Whew. I'm gonna get a sip of water. We'll flip around. We'll do the right side. Cool, so tabletop position on your palms, or maybe you come down to your forearms. This time we'll work the right side. So the top of your left foot is either pressed into your mat, or you can tuck your left toes under. From here, you flatten your sole of your foot. We hit a donkey down for 2, down for 1. Your knee stays at a 90 the entire time. You come up for 2, stamp the ceiling at 1, down for 2, down for 1, up for 2, up for 1. See if you can find a little bit more height with each rep. Up for 2, up for 1. Whew. I feel like I have a lot more ability on my right side. A lot of us are right dominant, so we try to, work our left a little bit more, since it starts to get a little bit less attention than our right side if that's where we're dominant. We hold the top in 6. We hold the top in 4. You hold high in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold high in 1. Foot flex, you pulse, 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 pulse for another 10, 9, 8. Get your knee higher for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend your right leg behind you. We hamstring curl in for 2. We curl for 1. You extend for 2, extend for 1. Curl for 2, curl for 1, extend for 2, extend for 1. Squeeze your core, wrap your right hip down. I'm gonna tent the fingers on my right hand. Woo, shake in here. Press into your mat a little bit more. We extend and bend. You have another 15 here. We pulse it out, leg extended behind us in 12. Push yourself up out of your shoulders so you're not dumping into them. We extend our leg in 8, in 6, in 4, in 3, right leg extended behind you, in 2, and 1, right leg extended behind you. We pulse, pulse, pulse. I know it burns, it sucks, but we're almost there. You have 10, 9, 8, 7. Push your left foot into your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm gonna pop up to my hands for our fire hydrant. If you wanna stay on your knees, totally fine. Or sorry, on your elbows. From here, our right hip, right knee open for 2, open for 1, lower for 2, lower for 1. Squeeze your glutes as you resist against the band on the way up. Inhale on the way down. Exhale up for 2, up for 1. You lower for 2, you lower for 1. Back up for 2, for 1. Down for 2, down for 1. You get to lay down, we'll go side work after this. We'll meet at the top in 10. We pulse it out in another 8. You have 6. You open your knee, you open your hip on the right. In 4, in 3, in 2, hold high in 1. We pulse, 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 pulse. You have 10. You have 9. You have 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze your right oblique for 3, for 2, for 1. Awesome. Oh, sit back into a child's pose. Whew. Let's breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Cool, you can slide your band off and we're gonna grab our medium band next. Grab your medium band. We'll slide it on just an inch above our knees, kind of like we did earlier in class. You're gonna lay down onto your right hip. You can come down onto your right forearm. If it feels better for you to like hold your hand in your head or lay all the way down, take whatever feels good. Your legs are bent at a 90 degree, but your heels are in line with your hips. From here, we clam our left knee up for 2, up for 1, resist down for 2, and down for 1, up for 2, up for 1, resist for 2, resist for 1. Try to not let your knees touch each other on the way down. You wanna leave some space, press into the band. We're working with resistance here. This is what helps us feel and see the change. You are challenging yourself, you're pushing yourself to maybe your level of a little bit of discomfort, but sometimes that's good. We come to work out because we like the intentional stress. It's fun to see kind of what the human body can do. That's definitely something that energizes me a lot in my workouts. We hold our left knee pressed all the way back in another 8. You lower for 6, lower for 5. Your knee comes back up. You press into the band at your highest point in 3, in 2, and 1. From here, you press back, 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 back. Your feet are together, knees are wide apart. We pulse for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, hold all the way back in 2 and 1, hold. You extend your left leg. We lower for 2, lower for 1, lift for 2, lift for 1, lower 2, lower 1, lift for 2, lift for 1. Try not to let yourself roll back too much. I like to keep my left hand down in front of me here. Again, my fingertips are tented a little bit so that I can just keep my balance and not be rolling too far back. Imagine that there's a wall behind the backside of your body. Would your whole backside touch it? If you don't feel like that's what's happening, you probably need to straighten out a little bit more. Bring your left shoulder a little further down. We hold our left leg high in 8. We hold high in 6. Your toe is pointed here. We hold high in 4, in 3, in 2, hold high in 1. Pulse, 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 pulse for 10. You have 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You have 4, 3, 2, hold, and 1. Your left arm extends overhead. You look over your right shoulder down at your mat. You bend your elbow and knee for 2. We touch at 1. Extend for 2. Extend for 1. You bend for 2. Bend for 1. Extend for 2. Extend for 1. If you want to take it up a notch, you can come up onto your right knee. Your right hip is lifted. Elbow and knee touch. We extend back out. Take your gaze with you. So as your arm pulls in to crunch, you look towards your knee. As your arm extends overhead, you look towards the floor. We're here for another 4. You have another 3. You have another 2. Exhale as you crunch. You have another 1. Elbow and knee meet here. We hold. You hold for 10. 9, press out of your shoulder for 6, for 5, for 4, we pulse in 3, in 2, and 1, you pulse, 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 pulse for 10, 9, 8, ooh, we're almost there, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, 1, lower down. Whew. I'm gonna pat my left glute out and then come up and take a mermaid stretch. So right arm comes over your body, you lean towards the left. And then right hand comes down, left hand comes down. You reach across your body, twisting with your body instead of against it. All right, legs come around. This time we're down on our left hip and our left elbow. Again, press through your forearm so there's a little bit of space and you're not just dumping into your shoulder. So again, your knees are at a 90-degree bend. Your heels are in line with your hips. Toes stay touching here. We lift our right knee for 2. We lift for 1. Lower for 2. Lower for 1. Lift for 2. Lift for 1. Lower for 2. Lower for 1. You're in the final stretch of class here. Can you dig a little bit deeper? Can you thank yourself for committing, for staying this long, for showing up? Maybe you're having the best day ever and you're just vibrant and passing with energy. Maybe today sucks and you're looking for a little bit of something extra to just kind of keep you going, and this is it. I'm grateful for that. But just try to move with intention the rest of the time we have here. You hold your right knee up high in another 8. You have 6. We hold our right knee high in 4, in 3. Right knee high in 2 and 1. You pulse back, 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 back. Think about this diamond shape as you press into your clam. You have another 10, 9, 8, 7. We extend our right leg in 6, in 5, in 4, in 3. You press for 2, 1, hold. Extend your right leg out beside you. Toe is pointed, we lower for 2. Lower for 1, lift for 2, lift for 1. Lower for 2, lower for 1, lift for 2, lift for 1. A good challenge I like to keep here is to try to not let my working leg, so in this part, it's our right leg, touch the floor. Can you just try to bring it down as low as possible, maybe in line with your hip or just an inch lower, and bring it right back up. I try to not go all the way down, all the way up exactly in every exercise because I want to create, like I said, tension. Like let that fire happen, let the change happen, see how strong you are. We're here for another 10. Keep pointing your toe, energy shooting through your entire body. We hold at the top in 5. Right leg nice and high, we hold at the top in 3. In 2 and 1, we pulse, 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 pulse. Tuck your hips here. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Squeeze your right oblique in 2 and 1, hold. Awesome. This time, right arm goes overhead, right leg is extended. You take your gaze with your arm. We crunch elbow to knee for 2. Take your gaze with you, 1. Extend for 2. Extend for 1. You bend for 2. Exhale for 1, touch. Extend for 2. Extend for 1. So take your gaze with you as you turn. You crunch elbow to knee, they touch. Toe is pointed, fingers are long, with energy through each of them. Again, if you would like to take the challenge, you can pop up onto your left knee. really moving with our breath here. We'll take another 4. We'll take another 3. You have another 2. Oh, I'm starting to slip. You take one more, you hold elbow to knee, you hold, lift your left hip a little bit higher. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, shake for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, hold. We pulse, 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 pulse. Get your oblique activated, get it engaged. You have another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, and 1. Oh. Whew. So nice. Slide the band off. We're gonna work with our light band for the rest of class. So if you have a lighter band, feel free to grab that. I'm gonna get a little sip of my drinks here. Awesome. We're gonna work our arms here. You're gonna grab your light band, or if you really wanna spruce it up a little bit, you can keep your medium or heavy band. You're gonna slide the band on over your wrist, come up about halfway up your forearm. We meet with our palms towards the ceiling, elbows at a 90-degree bend. We're gonna serve the platter for up for 2, forward for 1, drop through your shoulders as you resist your arms back for 2, press against the band for 1, extend for 2, serve the platter for 1, bend for 2, bend for 1. See how there's energy through my fingertips? Don't let them be limp. Have it work through every cell of your body in this exercise. We're pretty fatigued. I know I'm running out of breath here. Squeeze your core a little bit more. But we're signaling to ourselves that we're dedicated, we're intentioned, we're here to connect with ourselves, with the world around us. Let this be your time. In 8 seconds, we meet with our elbows at our halfway point. You have 4, you have 3, you have 2 and 1. Your elbows are at your halfway point. You extend an inch, you bend an inch. Extend and bend. If you look at me, it's the teeny tiniest micro little movement you've done this entire workout. Super small, drop your shoulders down. Don't lean too far back, don't lean too far forward. We have another 10, 9, you have 8, 7, 6. We hit newspaper openers in 5. In 4, slide your band down in 3, in 2, and in 1. Awesome, so slide your band closer to your wrists. From here, we open our hands for 2, open for 1. You resist for 2, resist for 1, open for 2, open for 1, resist for 2, resist for 1. If you'd like to come down to your heels, that's totally fine. I'm gonna turn on so you can see the back side. But we're working a lot of our posture muscles here. So we spend a lot of time bent over on our phones, on our desks. We sleep weird. I know I'm guilty of all those things. So it's nice to do this sort of exercise to help strengthen those muscles. You press your arms all the way onto your widest feet in another 8. You have 6. We open our arms as far as we can in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. Pulse, 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 pulse. Feel it through your shoulder blades. Try to get them together that much deeper. You can feel it in your biceps for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Hold for 2 and 1. Cool, we're gonna take bicep curls now. So your arms extend in front of you. We bend, we bring our arms up. Keep your elbows nice and high. We bend for 2. Bend for 1, extend for 2, extend for 1. Wow, I'm feeling it through the front and the back side of my arms. I don't know about you guys. Whew, we're almost there. We finish with abs after this arm sequence. I promise the finish line is close. You guys have worked so hard. You have another 10. We'll meet with 2 90s in our elbows in 8. You have 6. Whew, we crow for another 4. For 3, drop your shoulders down for 2 and 1. Your arms are at 90. We pulse up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Resistance through your band. Don't let it be loose. We have another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't drop for 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, high. Awesome. Slip the band up over your, like an inch or so above your elbow so it wraps around your biceps. We're gonna finish with triceps and then we'll take it to the mat. We have abs. So meet me in a modified plank. If you'd like to take the challenge, you can press up to your toes. From here, tricep push up, your elbows come back, not wide. You lower for 2, lower for 1. You push away for 2, push away for 1. Inhale as you come down for 2. Inhale for 1. Press for 2, press for 1. See how close you can bring your chest to the mat. Your elbows come back. They don't come wide. So directly behind you, they're parallel here. Together, we'll take another 4. If you're in the modified plank, you want your shins to be pressed onto the floor. Sometimes I will press my toes just to help keep me stable a little bit more. We have 2 more, we'll meet low. Just don't have your hips or your heels tucked towards your hips. You have another 2. We hold low in 1, you hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Whew. Press yourself back up. We get to finish right here. Kind of like we did earlier with the bungee. You're gonna slide the band on through your feet. I'm gonna take my clip out because I cannot lay all the way down with it in. Your feet come up to a tabletop, your hands come behind your head. You keep your resistance in your band. Your feet are nice and wide, pressing into the band. You crunch up, we lower. We crunch up, we lower. You exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. My whole body is shaking here. I've done probably a million crunches in my life, and I like to make them a little difficult because why not? Our elbows are nice and wide. Don't let them creep in towards each other. Press your tailbone, your spine into your mat. Curl up through your C-spine. We have another 10. You hold high in 8. We have another 6. We hold high in 4, in 3, in 2, hold high in 1. Hold, hold. From here, your legs extend. We go bicycles across the body. We come center. Bend and center. You twist left and center, twist right and center. Your shoulders are off your mat the entire time. Press through your low tailbone. We take it across our body. In another 10 seconds, we'll keep it over to the left. You have 8. You have 7. You have 6. Think about crunching up and over and not just twisting to the side for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. You crunch over to the left. Your right arm extends across your body. You pulse, pulse, press against the band from the top of your left foot and the back side of your right foot. We pulse for another 10, 9, 8, 7. We take it to the right in 6, in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Right hand comes behind your head. Left arm extends across your body. Left arm extended, right arm bent. We twist, we twist. You pulse and pulse. So press through the ball of your left foot and the top of your right foot to create tension on the band. We have another 10, 9, 8, 7. You lay back on your head in 6, in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Lay down, legs come overhead. We lower for 4, lower for 3, press against the band for 2, and for 1. You lift for 4, lift for 3, lift for 2, and lift for 1. Back down for 4. Woo! Your legs are probably really feeling it. My core definitely is. We'll take another 2 here. You meet me with your legs extended in front of you on 1 more. So you lower for 4, for 3, legs extended in front of you in 2, and 1. From here, we take a teaser to come up. So your arms come overhead. They wrap around the sides of your body. You come up to try to touch your toes. You lay back down. If you need to keep your knees bent here too, that's always an option. Just make sure that you continue to press into the band. We're gonna take another 3. We'll meet at the top to hold. Your finish line is so close. Inhale on the way down. Exhale as you scoop your arms around. Exhale as you pull up. Last one right here. We hold at the top. We hold at the top. You have 10, 9, 8. If your legs are not straight, here's your chance. Maybe your arms come overhead for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Oh, come down to the mat. Remove the band. Oh, I'm gonna take a full body stretch first. Oh, it just feels so nice. Start to bring both knees into your chest. I'm gonna rock and roll on my spine, side to side, just a little bit. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Oh, it's like giving yourself a nice hug. Stay on your back. We'll bring our legs to a butterfly position. Press in through your inner thighs. Tuck your hips under. Again, create resistance here, even though we're just stretching. Whew. All right, come to meet me in a tabletop. We're gonna do some hip circles. So you open your left hip, bring it down, open and down. While the body's warm, I like to get, especially our hip sockets, extra lubricated. We're gonna switch directions. I feel like it just really helps for mobility now that you've built some heat. Awesome, right knee, we open our hip, down and around. We'll do 2 more, we'll switch directions. And 1. Switch directions so your heel goes up and around. The bands are just like, such a classic. Like they never not make an exercise that much more interesting. Left foot comes forward, you're in a low lunge. You're gonna start to lean forward. Try not to let your left knee come over your left ankle. Push in. Again, I just like to take these little pulses because I feel like it helps to just get you a little bit deeper. We're gonna pull back into a split squat. Ooh. Keep breathing and slow our heart rate down. So come back to your lunge. This time I'll take a twist. Left arm comes up to the ceiling, left palm down on your mat. Really twist. Think about twisting from your waistline. Perfect. Left hand comes down to your mat. Left knee down, right foot comes up. We pop up into our low lunge. So again, try not to let your knee come too far over your ankle. I know we're in this little pull stretch, but we don't want to pull anything, you know, or injure ourselves. Whew. Awesome, come all the way back. We'll hit a split squat. This time with our right foot flexed. Sit down and back, open your chest. Come forward, left palm down. Right hand opens up towards the ceiling. Your chest turns towards your right thigh. Again, turn from your waist. Twist here. Keep breathing. Right hand comes down. I'm gonna swing my legs around. Come to meet in a seated position. Together, we will breathe in, hands come over our head. We seal at the top together with a clap. If I could get a clap. Exhale, your hands come down to your chest. Namaste. Great job today, you guys. Everybody worked super hard. I know I'm definitely gonna be feeling this one later. Reminders to get a bunch of water, stretch it out today, protein intake. Don't forget to express some gratitude for your body. Maybe that just means an extra little touch, a hug, something like that. I will see you guys very soon. Bye.